In this video, we will explore the incredible and fascinating story of a scientist with a diverse background who met an underwater alien entity as part of her research in the heart of the world-famous Zone 51. The scientist, an Einstein alumnus, was reportedly hired to study an alien survivor of the Roswell crash, the only specimen to survive the 1947 crash. Shirley J. Wright was born in Boston and raised in Chicago, then moved to Miami Beach in her teens, where she took over the management of the tropical hotel that was built by her parents. A passionate student of science and teaching, Shirley earned a PhD in chemistry and physics, and spent more than 50 years teaching chemistry at Miami-Dade Community College. She also had the great privilege of being a student of Dr. Albert Einstein at Princeton. But Shirley's life took an unexpected turn. In a fascinating documentary titled Roswell 75: The Final Proofs, she joined a team of experts to discuss a UFO topic, the potential existence of advanced humanoid aliens on Earth. Dr. Wright revealed that these beings had shown a particular interest in human exploration of the ocean depths, wondering how far humans were able to travel in the ocean. In 1947, after the notorious Roswell incident, Dr. Wright was called to the scene of a UFO crash to examine the debris. What she found changed her life forever. She was taken to a secret location where 9 foreign bodies lay on examination tables. Of these aliens, only one had survived. She then engaged in a cautious conversation with the survivor, who immediately raised her curiosity by asking questions about human exploration of the oceans. For decades, Shirley struggled to find answers, crossing paths with UFO expert Anna Whitty. Together, they developed a bold theory that these aliens could inhabit our oceans, finding refuge in the unexplored sea depths. Despite ridicule and skepticism, Dr. Wright and Whitty persisted in their quest for truth by amassing evidence and seeking to unravel the mystery of this alien civilization hidden underground. Shirley was a passionate teacher and scholar. She earned a PhD in physical chemistry and physical sciences. For more than half a century, she taught chemistry at Miami-Dade Community College. She was also honored to be a student of Dr. Albert Einstein at Princeton. Shirley has volunteered her teaching expertise at the University of Miami and Barry College. She has also been a lecturer at the Jackson Memorial Hospital School of Nursing and Hialeah High School. She made history as the first woman to chair the faculty senate at Miami-Dade Community College. She was also a member of the Third Order of the Dominican Sisters. For more than 50 years, Shirley has contributed to the education of future scientists by awarding science excellence scholarships. Known for her generosity, she has supported many charities and has always been there to help her friends in need. Dr. Wright's fascinating accounts suggest that his unique experience with what appears to be an alien life form is as intriguing as it is troubling. Thanks to a special security clearance that was quickly revoked after the event, she was able to access the site of the Roswell incident. This authorization, which she believes she received specifically to examine the alien crash, was clearly linked to her area of expertise and her ability to manage the exceptional situation. More disturbingly, Dr. Wright revealed that he had been assigned the delicate task of keeping the survivor alive. Isolated in a motel in a neighboring town, she worked tirelessly to understand and meet the needs of this being from another world, well aware of the historical importance of her mission. She described in detail the alien's appearance, his skin of surprising softness, an unusual gray-green color. His looks were thin and skinny. Instead of the nose, there were simple marks. He had rounded eyes and a small mouth. The absence of eyebrows contrasted with the presence of ears and a head with strange shapes. The most striking feature, according to Dr. Wright, was the eyes of the being. The eyes were huge and very dark brown, dominating his face almost hypnotically. It was an image that stuck with her and that she never forgot. She also made some interesting observations about the clothing of aliens. They wore costumes similar to ours, but the fabric was unknown to this veteran chemist. The material did not look like any other fabric she had seen, adding another level of mystery to those visitors from another world. Dr. Wright also mentioned a remarkable feature of these aliens, their ability to survive in our atmosphere. According to what they told him, the Earth's atmosphere was quite similar to theirs, if not quite identical. This revelation suggests impressive adaptability, indicating that they possess an advanced understanding of the different atmospheric conditions of our planet. These descriptions of Dr. Wright provide fascinating insights into what remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time. Who were these beings? Where did they come from? What did they want? Questions remain, as does the mystery surrounding this strange and unforgettable encounter. In their careful attempt to learn more about these creatures, Dr. Wright revealed that information about their lifestyle and reproductive methods was evasive. The aliens were not willing to share much information, however, they mentioned living underground, suggesting a civilization perhaps largely underground. That testimony led UFO expert Anna Whitty to an intriguing conclusion. If Dr. Wright's revelations are correct, she says, it is more likely that these beings come from deep within our oceans or underground cave systems, rather than from another planet. Whitty argues that this is consistent with evidence of a cataclysmic cycle on Earth occurring every 1,000 years. Whitty offers a fascinating hypothesis that while millennia-old cataclysms reduce humanity on the surface to a Stone Age technology, underground beings would be protected, allowing them to continue developing their technology and intelligence without interruption. This could explain the advanced technology of these beings compared to ours. It adds an additional reflection. It is possible that these entities are not beings, in the sense we understand them, but that they have the capacity to make us perceive what is not really there. Such a proposal opens the door to a multitude of interpretations and theories about the exact nature of these entities, adding a new layer of mystery to this already complex affair. Was this alien referring to polymorphy? Or was he referring to some kind of manipulation of the mind? Whitty's theory is reinforced by numerous incidents and testimonies over the decades. In July 2019, a footage filmed aboard the USS Omaha captured a UFO diving into the water off San Diego.
Took off, booking it. Break Omaha, pick me kid, Rafael Peralta, pass ability to launch Hilo ASAP.
Whoa, it's getting close.
This is happening the same month the Green Pyramid footage was shot on board the USS Russell, another ship participating in these exercises, prepared to launch a helicopter when the object appears to dive into the ocean.
What was splashed? Splashed. Mark bearing and range.
The crucial element in this video is the plunging into the ocean, classifying this as a so-called transmedium UFO, an object that appears to possess amphibious capabilities. In other words, a USO, an unidentified submerged object. This footage of an object circling the airport, then heading out to sea and entering the water at high speed, then re-emerging. One theory posits that ETs are either exploring the Earth's oceans as well as its skies. The Agua Dia footage from 2013 showed the object apparently emerging.
Despite an exhaustive search, no debris or boats were recovered, which deepened the mystery. Another witness is U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Richard French. As one of the lead investigators of Project Blue Book in the 1950s, he said he witnessed two aliens repairing their underwater vessel in Newfoundland. French shared her experience before former members of Congress during a citizen hearing in 2013, claiming to have seen the aliens and their vessel under the surface of the water. Despite his usual role as a UFO demystifier, French claimed that what he saw was indeed a UFO sighting involving alien beings.
I was in the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, and in the OSI, in addition to criminal matters, the OSI also investigates UFOs. And because of that, I spent several years in the OSI, and during that entire period, one of the things I did was go chasing them down wherever they were.
What did you find?
Pardon?
What did you find? What UFOs did you find?
Well, put things in order here. The first incident, and I think the most significant one that I was really associated with, two F-86Ds, and the Hanford Atomic Energy plant, if you know where that is on the Columbia River.
Mm-hmm.
And, this UFO was headed toward that, and they scrambled. Two 86s.
What year?
Again, I swear this is 1972.
Okay.
Anyway, as he made his intercept, he got to about 20 or 30 yards at 6 o'clock. In other words, directly behind it. And the thing didn't turn. It continued its flight toward the Hanford area. And what it did, in an 86D, they have a pod of 2.75 rockets. They have 36 of them in the pod. Well, when the UFO didn't turn, then he got clearance to fire and fired. But instead of the rockets going forward, the second the pod opened, his airplane blew up. And
killing the pilot.
What?
Did the pilot get killed?
We never found the slightest piece of him. I mean, totally destroyed. They drugged the Columbia River for about 30 to 40 miles downstream, and about 20 or 30 upstream, and but they never turned up anything at all.
Mm-hmm. You said you handled some UFO material.
Yes, I have.
What from the Roswell crash?
Yes.
How'd you get it? How'd you get the UFO material? How did it come to you?
Well, that I know of, there were actually two Roswell accidents.
Right.
And the first one we think was just some kind of malfunction in the airplane that that they lost control of it. The second one was actually shot down by an experimental American aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to be there. I had to go to Albuquerque
mm-hmm.
to take my annual altitude chamber test.
Mm-hmm.
It's an annual requirement for pilots. And in doing that, Russell explains why I was there. And what happened, you know where White Sands is?
Yeah.
This, an experimental American aircraft with the equipment that looked and functioned like electromagnetic pulse blew the thing out of the sky.
And what year was this?
That would have been, I gotta go look at my records and see.
The 50s.
Anyway, that was just 2 days after the first one.
In 47?
Yes.
Okay. You said you were part of Project Blue Book.
Yeah, I'm one of the authors of it.
Who was directing the overall project, telling you to deny UFO reports or the actual UFO sightings? Who was in charge of that, telling you to say it was swamp gas?
We were told, we were ordered to use whatever kind of story thought we could sell to the American public, or to, in other words, we were ordered. This is what we were.
But who ordered you to do that? Where's the orders coming from?
Well, they came from down the same channels that the regular UFO channels. The Brigadier General Carroll, I don't know if you know, was the guy that founded the OSI.
Okay.
And that was a direction that came directly from him.
So he was the top guy in Project Blue Book?
That I know of. Now, I've been told that there was another man that was actually stationed at Wright Pat that was in charge of it.
And
I don't know that to be true.
And how long were you part of Blue Book for, Project Blue?
It's about 13 years.
And your job was to debunk UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything you saw that was not worth debunking? I mean, how much of the cases you saw did you feel were actually true? Was there a conflict in you about debunking what you believed to be true? How did you deal with that?
You learn to take orders in the military very clearly.
I see.
And do what you're told.
So why are you coming out now, or why?
Well, had I in my belief, had I done this, say, 5 or 6 years ago, it might have cost me my life. But now, you know, I'm in my middle 80s. I don't think it'd be worth their while to bother with me.
So who else?
And I think also that it has reached a point where there are some people very, very high up that want this UFO program, you know, to go through.
To be exposed.
To be what?
To be exposed. They want
Certainly.
to. Who would you guess those people high up are? If you can guess.
If I can guess.
Yeah.
Well, I would guess that they're in the people we refer to as aliens.
Oh, the aliens themselves want that.
Absolutely.
So you feel the aliens and the government are working hand in hand to release this information? Do you think?
Hand in hand.
Well, the aliens are working with the top officials in the government to release this.
I do believe that, yes.
Have you ever met an alien?
Have I ever met one?
Yeah. An EBE?
I've not met one. You know, I've seen their craft. One of them, as a matter of fact, I saw it landed a UFO right near Parker, Arizona, and that has been, what, 5 or 6 years ago.
You saw the UFO land? Did you see it?
No, it was already on the ground.
But you saw it?
Yeah, what happened? It just happened that I had pulled off the side of the road. I was going over to where my grandson and his mother lived. And I looked, and there, to my surprise, this thing sat. And I didn't go near it, but I, of course, knew what it was, and it was sitting there actually on a side hill, and with the main gear down, the triangular, and they extend down, and then they set the length of them so that the UFO is level at all times.
I see.
I would say between 15 and 18 feet in diameter, about 3.5 or 4 feet thick. Out at the wingtips, it's about, like this, maybe 4 or 5 inches thick.
Right.
But
did you see any occupants?
no.
I see. And did you see it take off?
As a matter of fact, I went to go to lunch and I came back and it was gone.
So what's your big vision for you? What should the government do about UFOs now? What would be your idea to how to release this?
Well, undoubtedly, we need to establish some kind of, and not national, but I mean this universe and other universes, some kind of, whether it's an international court or an international congress or something of that nature, but there needs to be a framework for the existence of both us and them.
Similar reports support the idea of an alien presence in our oceans. John Borthman, a former artillery lieutenant assigned to the USS Carl Vinson in 2010, reported seeing a UFO resembling a ticking underwater, moving at incredible speed before disappearing into the depths.
It was November 2004, and the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group was training about 100 miles southwest of San Diego. The advanced new radar on a nearby ship, the USS Princeton, had detected what operators called multiple anomalous aerial vehicles over the horizon, descending 80,000 feet in less than a second. Fravor and Dietrich, each with a weapons system officer in the back seat, were ordered to investigate and found an area of whitewater in an otherwise calm blue sea. It appeared to them that an object about the size of a 737 was just under the water.
So as we're looking at this, her backseater says, "Hey, Skipper, do you?" And about that got out, I said, "Dude, do you see that thing down there?" And we saw this little white tic-tac looking object, and it's just kind of moving above the whitewater area.
Do you ever drop your phone and it sort of bounces off the countertop and then bounces off something else, and it's sort of like no predictable movement, no predictable trajectory,
Yeah.
I guess. It was just
like a ping pong ball.
no
Just
acceleration.
very, very random.
Acceleration.
As Dietrich circled above, Fravor went in for a closer look. So you're sort of spiraling down?
Yep. The tic-tac still pointing north-south. It goes and just turns abruptly and starts mirroring me. So as I'm coming down, it starts coming up.
So it's mimicking your moves.
Yeah, it was aware we were there. You want to see how close I can get. So I go like this, and it's climbing still. And when it gets right in front of me, it just disappears.
Disappears.
Disappears. Like gone.
And you saw no visible propulsion,
Right.
No.
wings or anything to
No.
make it fly in our atmosphere?
No, actually, when it turned and started coming up, it was kind of like, okay. Because we have nothing that goes that fast and just starts climbing at will.
Seconds later, the Princeton reacquired the target 60 miles away.
So in a matter of...
Like that.
Yeah, it just appeared there.
In seconds,
Yeah.
it was 60 miles away. Later, another flight crew encountered what they believed to be the same object and briefly locked onto it with a targeting camera before it zipped off again.
They didn't get a visual on it, but they did get this FLIR footage,
video.
the forward-looking infrared.
So you've got the infrared image
Right.
Yes.
and your eyesight
Yes.
and the Princeton
The radar.
all saying there is something out there.
Yes.
The Princeton had been tracking the anomalous objects for days. Dietrich says they were unarmed.
You know, I felt the vulnerability of not having anything to defend ourselves, to not having any rounds, anything on the rails. If this was, in fact, a hostile threat, and we were engaged, I felt vulnerable, and then I felt confused when it disappeared.
Dietrich says she briefed superiors about what they all saw. In no time, the story of their encounter spread quickly.
Rumors like that spread within seconds. I would say with less than 30 minutes, the entire ship knew this happened.
And what was the reception like?
I actually thought it was kind of funny and started
Yeah.
giving us a lot of grief.
Ridicule.
Yeah.
Ridicule.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made cartoons, and on the ship's TV, they played Men in Black and Independence Day and Signs.
Signs.
So
And,
they made fun of it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Did anybody take it seriously?
Yeah, I believe the Admiral staff made a few phone calls, but that was the extent of it.
The story will continue after this.
Christopher Mellon served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence for Presidents Clinton and George W. Bush, and was on the staff of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He had access to top-secret government programs. He says what Dietrich and Fravor witnessed demonstrated technological capabilities beyond those of the U.S. military's most advanced aircraft.
In the case of the Nimitz, these vehicles seem to have unlimited loiter time, which we don't have. We're limited in terms of altitude. It's hard to design something that functions well at ground level that can go, to 60,000 or 80,000 feet.
And then drop.
And then drop down to the deck or drop to 20,000 feet, and and it's like a straight vertical line.
In seconds.
Yeah, in seconds.
And this has been captured on radar.
Yeah. I've talked to some of the radar operators who observe that. Then the acceleration is far beyond anything that we're capable of.
What's the fastest one of our jets can go?
Probably for a very brief period of time, 1,500 or 2,000 miles an hour. Nothing near the degree of acceleration that has been observed in some of these cases. There's nothing we could build that would be strong enough to endure that amount of force and acceleration.
The existence of unidentified submerged objects, USOs, has also been reported. In another case, the crew of a Soviet submarine reported being approached by 6 disc-shaped objects moving at high speed underwater. Caught unprepared and unable to escape, they were forced to rise to the surface. Through the periscope, they saw the objects emerge from the water and move away at high speed. In addition, several classic accounts of abductions by aliens mention underwater bases. Betty Andrea's son Luca, a Massachusetts resident who had been abducted multiple times, recalls being taken aboard a spacecraft that plunged into the ocean and entered a light tunnel. Another case is that of Filiberto Cardenas, who claims to have been taken to a secret underwater hangar, a claim corroborated by witnesses to his abduction. He described a rapid journey through an underwater tunnel that culminated in a large hangar beneath the surface. These incidents and testimonies add weight to Whitty's theory, suggesting that aliens may well be underwater entities. This evidence of extraterrestrial activity in our oceans opens new perspectives on the question of extraterrestrial life and its possible interaction with our planet. Dr. Wright's account of his encounter with an alien being, and the possibility that these beings reside in our oceans, invites us to explore fascinating parallels with other supernatural entities described across cultures and eras. For example, we can begin with the legends of the sirens, which are widespread in the maritime culture of many countries. These half-female and half-fish creatures are believed to live in the oceans and have often been described as having superior intelligence and advanced communication abilities, much like the beings described by Dr. Wright. On the other hand, Nordic mythology talks about aquatic elves or ondines, spiritual entities linked to water. Some of these stories portray these beings as ancient and mystical knowledge keepers, who may have advanced technology or capabilities, evoking again the aliens described by Dr. Wright. In the East, Chinese legends evoke the water dragon, a powerful creature that rules over groundwater and oceans. This figure, both feared and respected, is often associated with wisdom and knowledge, recalling the interest of aliens in exploring the ocean. In India, there are stories of the Naga people, semi-divine beings who live in an underwater kingdom. These creatures are often portrayed as protectors of mystical treasures and sacred knowledge, a theme that resembles the story of Dr. Wright's advanced aliens. In modern culture, the myth of Atlantis speaks of an advanced civilization that would have been submerged by the ocean. The Atlanteans, with their advanced technology and wisdom, could well be compared to the aliens described by Dr. Wright. The stories of aliens residing in the oceans, as presented by Dr. Wright, can also be compared with the stories of water jinns. The jinn are supernatural creatures of Islamic mythology. They are often associated with natural elements like water. The water jinns are a category of jinns that are sometimes called marids. They are described as the strongest and most powerful of the jinns, with deep wisdom and knowledge of the earthly and celestial worlds. Like the alien beings described by Dr. Wright, the marids are often depicted as having advanced communication abilities, sometimes even crossing the boundaries between the human and supernatural worlds. These entities are also known for their ability to change shape, which could suggest advanced adaptive technology or capability, much like the aliens encountered by Dr. Wright. Beliefs around water jinns indicate that these entities may have various intentions. Some are benevolent while others may be malevolent. This could represent the different possible motivations of the alien beings who contacted Dr. Wright. It is also interesting to note that just as Dr. Wright's story suggests that aliens may reside in the oceans, the Maritimes are often associated with water and maritime areas. This aquatic home may reflect a natural refuge, protecting these beings from human gaze. The cultural links we have forged between Dr. Wright's testimony and the folklore of different cultures broaden our view of Dr. Wright's experience, encouraging us to consider the multitude of possibilities that the universe offers. From aliens, to mermaids, to water dragons, to Nagas, to the inhabitants of Atlantis, to the sea jinns, these stories underscore our enduring fascination with the secrets buried in the sea abyss and the intelligent beings who might inhabit them. Although these stories take different forms depending on cultures and interpretations, the recurring theme is that of supernatural or extraterrestrial entities making ocean depths their home. These legends invite us to push the limits of our imagination, to open our minds to the extraordinary range of possibilities offered by our universe and to pursue tirelessly our quest for answers to the unsolved puzzles of our world. These cultural parallels lead us to fundamental questions about the nature of our reality and place in the universe. It seems that many cultures, through time and space, share a common fascination for the mysteries of water and the intelligent entities that could live there. This suggests an archetypal recurrence that merits deeper exploration. First, water is often associated with the unconscious, mystery, and depth in many spiritual and psychological traditions. It represents what is hidden, unknown, and inaccessible. The ocean, in particular, with its dark and unexplored depths, is a powerful symbol of the unknown. Beings who reside in these unfathomable depths, whether alien or terrestrial, are often portrayed as keepers of secrets, possessing wisdom or knowledge that exceeds human understanding. They embody both our desire to explore and our fear of the unknown. They reflect our quest for a deeper knowledge of ourselves and the universe. Dr. Wright's encounter with these alien beings, and their curiosity about human exploration of the ocean, is particularly revealing. This suggests that even these advanced beings share our fascination for the depths and mysteries they contain. This raises intriguing questions. Why would these entities be attracted to our oceans? The oceans, the vast aquatic expanses that cover most of our planet, are still largely unknown and are home to many secrets. Perhaps these alien beings perceive something in these unexplored depths, a potential or resource that we as a species have yet to discover or understand. The oceans could hold valuable elements, whether they be natural resources, new forms of life, or knowledge about the history of our planet and the universe itself. It is also possible that these beings have an understanding or affinity with the aquatic environment that we do not share. Perhaps they come from a planet or a place where similar environments exist, and are therefore attracted by the familiarity of our oceans. What if, in a fascinating twist of perspective, we envision that these beings are not the aliens, but that we are? Perhaps these entities were present on our planet long before the appearance of the human species. They may have been the Earth's first inhabitants, having evolved and prospered in the depths of our oceans for millennia before we began to venture into their domains. Or perhaps, even more surprisingly, they could have played a role in our own evolution. There are theories that suggest that life on Earth may have been sown by extraterrestrial entities. This concept is known as panspermia. According to this idea, these beings may have contributed to our development as a species, by influencing our evolution in ways that we are only just beginning to understand. These ideas, while hypothetical, open up fascinating avenues for reflection and inquiry. They remind us that we still have much to learn about our own planet, the universe around us, and our place in it. The final hypothesis about this story is to imagine that these beings or entities actually exist, as Anna Whitty suggests, but this perspective raises some questions. Extraterrestrial races are often described as possessing psychic abilities. In this story, the only survivor of the Roswell crash did not use any of them. If he was still alive, why didn't he use his telepathic or psychic skills to influence the rank-and-file personnel to turn the situation around? There are several possible explanations for this, the first being that these so-called psychological gifts are actually the result of advanced technologies, not having access to these devices, so he couldn't use these capabilities. The second reason might be that this crash was not a coincidence. This crash may have been intentionally provoked in such a way that contact could be established with human leaders. This is a bit of the principle of the Trojan horse. Perhaps these beings were sacrificed in the service of study or science. According to this view, the crash was deliberately provoked so that the aliens could study how humans would react to such a situation. It's not unthinkable to say that we're probably not the only species in the universe that studies other species. This theory, though hypothetical, suggests that we may not be just the observers, but also the observed. And if so, what would our reaction be? How would we welcome this revelation? And what would the implications be for our perception of ourselves and our place in the universe?